and welcome. My name is Jody Scholes. I am your instructor for the MBLEx review course. Welcome. You're here. You made it. Yes. So you are studying to take the massage and bodywork licensing exam. And I will let you know that just in the past 7 days, we've had 3 more graduates successfully complete their exam. So excited. I think I have their names right here. Yes, Brittany, Sammy, and Julia. Brittany, Sammy, and Julith will all be announced this week. So, what we're doing is working, you guys. It's slow and steady. Sometimes I send you a little note that says, slow and steady wins the race. Promise you that is the case. We are just filling in all those little areas that not only of your knowledge, but of how to take this test. And this is what sets this class apart from a lot of the other resources that you have. And one is that I do class in 3 parts. The very first part of class is how to take the test. So I give you some test taking strategies that allow you to mentally prepare for the test. And if I'm being honest, that's like the most important part, to mentally prepare. Every time you take a practice test, every time you sit for more than an hour studying, you are increasing your test taking stamina. And that's a big part. So that's why I wanted to mention why we talk about test taking strategies. Second part, today we'll learn. Yep, gonna just learn a bit about guidelines to a professional practice. And you may say, oh my gosh, Jody, I'm a grown up. I've worked for other employers. I know what it means to be a professional. I know what it means to be an employee in a business. You may have even run your own business. Well, guess what? On your MBLEx, business ethics guidelines to a professional practice are 31 questions out of the 100. 31% of your MBLEx is on business ethics and guidelines to a professional practice. So we get to go there. Yep, we get to go there. And then in part 3 today, we dissect some questions related to the material that we've just covered, but we learn how to pull out the real essence of the question. Because as for those of you who've taken the MBLEx and failed forward, you know the questions can be very tricky. So let's get started with our very first section of class, and that is my test taking strategy for you today. And that is, how do you register for the MBLEx? So the Federation of State Massage Therapy Boards is the place where you will pay your $265 to get registered and attached to the system. So with that in mind, you will create an account with the Federation. That is not registering for the test. That tells the Federation that you are ready sometime within the next 90 days to take the test. Once you pay your money, sometime in the next 3 to 5 days, you will get an authorization to test, an ATT. It will come via your email. You are responsible to find it. It might go to your spam. It often does. So just be watching over the next week for communication from the Federation of State Massage Therapy Boards, the FSMTB. That is where you go to register, pay your money, and then once everything processes, 3 to 5 days later, whoop, they send you your authorization to test. And when I say processes, they verify that your school has sent transcripts. They will get back to you with any additional information they need. They are required to within the first 3 to 5 days. Once you have your authorization to test, frickin' celebrate. Because you know what? I'm working with graduates of massage school right now who can't even register. Their school closed, they have to hunt down their transcripts. Just qualifying to take the MBLEx has been a challenge. So when you get your authorization to test, yes, you're in. Now you've got 90 days to make arrangements with the Pearson VUE Testing Center to arrange for your date. So that is how you register to take the MBLEx. With the Pearson VUE Testing Center, you are allowed to rearrange your day. However, you are not allowed to rearrange. Some testing centers say 48 hours. Definitely you cannot change it within a 12-hour window. So just know, I understand that things happen, car accidents, sickness, all sorts of different things. But that 24-hour window, you're going to lose the money. You're going to lose the date, you're going to lose the money. And I've heard it happen over and over again. So I just want to warn you that at the last minute, you can't call in and say, I got to reschedule. It has to be done well in advance. Please look at the instructions that your testing center sends you because it does differ. The minimum, oh, thank you, Lana says, and you have to pay $50 now to change your date. So it's highly recommended that when you pick your day and your time, stick with it. Just stick with it. Know that it is divinely ordered. How fun would it be for those of you who are close? I'm not talking to the new people now, but for those of you who are close, who already have your authorization to test, wouldn't it be fun to take your test on the 29th of February? This recording is being done in a year we have a leap year. So wouldn't that be fun? Or how about on the same day as your birthday? I was born on the 9th of the month, so maybe you want to take your test on the 9th of the month. Or not my birthday, but your birthday, All right. So that is a introduction to how do you register to take your test. Just making sure everybody's muted. Okay. That is an introduction on how you register to take your test and the process of going to the Federation of State Massage Therapy Boards, their website, registering, paying, and then waiting for the authorization to test, then contacting your local Pearson VUE Testing Center. And for some of you, local is an hour away. Going to need to take that into consideration on game day, on your test-taking day. Maybe if it's bad weather or possible bad weather, maybe you want to go the day before and stay overnight. Maybe it would be good for you to have that calmness beforehand. Just ways, and I talk about game day in another segment, but for now, that's what I wanted to share with you about registering to take your MBLEx, paying, the authorization to test, scheduling with Pearson VUE, and the dynamics, the logistics of that. So, looking forward to hearing that some of you are ready to schedule. Looking forward to confirming with you that some of you are ready to schedule. And if you're not sure, hit me up through the Patreon message board and let's have a chat. For now, let's change gears. Ready to learn? I heard some. I didn't hear it out loud, but I heard it in your head. You said no. That's okay. You're here. We're gonna learn. All right. So, not the most exciting of topics, business guidelines to a professional practice, standards of practice for massage therapy, but one in which we need to review. So, let's go for it. And there are going to be terms that you hear today that you may not have heard in massage school. In fact, let's do this. Yeah. So you may not have heard this in massage school. Depends. You might have been missing that day. You might have had no instructor. They may not have covered it. Here we are, and the good Lord is making sure you know what you need to know to pass this test. Okay, where are we going today? Standards of practice, including some definition of terms. Another category, guidelines to a professional practice, the actual operation of business. And then some ethics. If we have time, we'll review the code of ethics as well, just so it's fresh in your mind. All right. We're going to talk a little bit about the NCBTMB today. We're going to talk about dual relationships and multidimensional relationships. We're going to talk about boundary crossings. And like I said, if we get to it, we'll go over the code of ethics. But I trust you could read that one on your own. Let's go through a few definitions. Principles, rules or laws of behavior. So I believe that respect and kindness are two of the most important principles that my parents have taught me growing up in regard of how to treat people. So principles, it's the laws of behavior. Think about your high school principal. If they came walking down the hallway, everybody's on their best behavior, right? So that really relates to the laws or the rules of behavior, those principles. Integrity. And for those of you who have English as a second language, gonna just have to commit some of these to memory, really dissecting the question. So integrity is a noun and it's a quality. It's the quality of being honest, of being really honest with yourself. More so living by your own moral compass, right? So in integrity means that you're going to do what you say you're going to do. You're going to be true to your feelings of what is right and wrong, being true to yourself. Following your own moral compass is being true to your own principles. That's integrity. It's a noun and it's a character trait. Morals, just heard me mention them. They almost always have to do with right and wrong. So Aristotle said moral excellence comes as a result of habit. We become just by doing just acts, temperate by doing temperate acts, brave by doing brave acts. So morals almost always have to do with the concept of right or wrong. So if you're seeing something on the MBLEx that's a definition like this, look at good and bad, right and wrong. That has to do with morals. Now, it could be for a person, it could be for a community, but that is what morals represents. Values, on the other hand, are a conglomeration. Our values cut across a spectrum. This can be for an individual or for a community, for a country even, and the principles and beliefs that influence the behavior. So our value system. And here, Gandhi, the infamous Gandhi, says that our values actually become our destiny. So our beliefs become our thoughts become our words become our actions. This is gospel, y'all. Your actions become your habits, Your habits become your values, and your values define your destiny. So, values is really the way you're thinking, the important and lasting beliefs that are shared with you, your peer group, maybe your culture. Um, and this is more about what is desirable, what is the best outcome, our values. Moving along, we're going to get away from ethical terms and psychological terms and talk about a specific term that applies to you as a massage therapist, and that is a standard of practice. Standard. You've heard the term the gold standard? What is the gold standard with massage therapy? And this is something you may have to identify on your MBLEx. So standards of practice are used. They're guidelines to determine competency. Let me assure you, let me assure you, this MBLEx, it's not a competency-based test. You know way more than you're going to need to know to safely practice by completing the MBLEx. But back to our definition, standards of practice. Standard, what is the gold standard? It's a benchmark. It's an expected level of care. And as you see in the slide, that that this is really wrapped around public safety. One thing that we know is that anybody who's passed the MBLEx has had to stretch, has had to learn a few more things than they'll ever need in practice. But it's a standard of practice. We're going to hold ourselves to excellence. So who sets these standards? Well, who is the NCBTMB? They are the National Certification Board of Therapeutic Massage and Bodywork. They are the ones who are part of the AMTA right now. They used to stand alone, but now they're part of the AMTA. And their acronym is NCBTMB. What I've shown you here is board certified. So this is a national association. Now we know the AMTA, we know the ABMP, American Massage Therapy Association, Associated Bodywork and Massage Professionals, and then we have the NCBTMB, the National Certification Board for Therapeutic Massage and Bodywork. They're another national association for massage therapists. There's also the Alliance for Massage Therapy Education. That is for educators, for people who think they might want to be teachers. The Alliance for Massage Therapy Educators, the AFMTE. We also have COMPTA, just mentioning it in case you see it, and that's the Commission on Therapeutic Massage. So the commission makes sure that massage schools are up to standard. COMPTA is the highest gold standard. We talked about standards. COMPTA is the highest gold standard for massage schools. If they are COMPTA accredited, they are a very good massage school. But let's go back to the National Certification Board. It focuses on recognizing massage therapists who have achieved above and beyond the MBLEx. So this is a very small group of massage therapists that have decided to take another test to become board certified. And that's what you see the acronym here. Board BC, board certified in therapeutic massage and bodywork. That's what board certification. Just so you know what it is. One other thing the NCB does is they determine who are approved providers. You will need 24 credits of continuing education every 2 years. Depending on your state, up to 8 hours of that is live and in the classroom. You'll need to know that once you are licensed so that you are compliant. We're going to talk about compliance here in just a few minutes. But the NCB, they are the ones who vet new teachers providing continuing ed. So they are the ones who take an application. Say one day you think you might want to teach continuing ed. There is an application process for teachers. They have to have a curriculum. They have to have a syllabus. And they have to have a certificate of achievement. They have a way of keeping track of all of your scores. But the NCBTMB is the one who certifies a person, a teacher, to be approved for continuing education. Let's walk through the standards of practice. Again, the standards. These are the benchmarks. We have standard 1, professionalism. How's it going to look when you go to do your massage therapy practice? What professionalism are you going to bring to your practice? One way we can show professionalism is through how we dress. I mean, if I were to show up to teach and I was in a tank top, hat on backwards, might be cool, right? But I send a message to you, a silent message, with how I appear. Likewise, you will send a message to your clients by how you appear. This is actually down here. This is me in working a sports massage event in Washington, D.C. It was the World Police and Firefighters Games. We did sports massage at that event. So you can see there's a t-shirt here that identifies, and on the back of that t-shirt it says massage therapist or volunteer. Again, it's a professionalism. I like how this young lady here is wearing a logoed shirt. Really easy to get. Just go on to one of the many sites that will imprint a shirt for you that says, even if it just says massage therapist or your name, it's awesome to add that to your practice. You know what else is awesome about it? Is that when you take that shirt off, you're done with work. Yeah. And in this case, you may have seen this in your massage school. These massage therapists are wearing scrubs. Another option for your attire. Oh, yeah. And I will assure you we're going to be going a little over today. So hang in there. Stay as long as you can. Standard number 2, legal and ethical requirements. You are responsible to know all the legal requirements in your zip code to practice massage therapy. And that's a really easy way to find them out, but you are responsible. And when I opened my first practice, I didn't realize I needed a business license. I had passed the MBLEx, so I had passed my national certification exam. I had passed the MBLEx. I had gotten my state license. I had gotten fingerprinted for the county. I didn't know in the town that I was in, I also needed a business license. They also had a massage therapy license, so I had 2 more licenses to get. That was my responsibility. I could have gotten in trouble. I could have gotten shut down. So legal and ethical requirements, it's your responsibility. Oh, and here's a picture, and I saw a picture. Here's town hall, right? You may have to go to town hall. Does your state issue a license or certification? There are still a few states without regulations. Right now, California and Arizona are in limbo. New York and Hawaii require their own test. Vermont and Minnesota don't require the MBLEx. Neither does Kansas. Minnesota, though, many of their counties and their cities do require you to pass the MBLEx. No state license? City license? It's up to you to know what those requirements are. Standard number 3, we're moving along now. All right, confidentiality. You cannot discuss clients. You cannot discuss any client information with anyone other than the client. So confidentiality, what does that look like? There are, so this is in results to HIPAA. So way back in 1996, some of you weren't even born yet, the Health Insurance and Portability and Accountability Act. So this is not hippo. It's not spelled like the hippo, like the animal. It's 2 A's. Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. And so last standard, standard 6, the prevention of sexual misconduct. And I talked about countertransference and transference earlier, and how intimacy can be mistaken for affection. Our sessions are very intimate, right? Clients take off their clothes, we are touching their bodies. It is your ethical responsibility to prevent sexualizing the massage. Sometimes the client initiates it. Often the client, I shouldn't say often, by the environment that you set, your client will understand the professional nature of the therapeutic relationship. Remember I talked about clothing earlier? Remember I talked about scrubs and a shirt with an imprint of your name or massage therapist, or that helps to set a vibe. It helps to set the atmosphere of professionalism. So you never hopefully have to have the conversation about sexual misconduct. If you're feeling affectionate towards a client, the AMTA says in their Code of Ethics, the NCB Code of Ethics, says that you need to wait 6 months before you date a client. I'm just telling you for the purposes of the MBLEx, 6 months without the therapeutic relationship. And you have to end the therapeutic relationship. Warren Buffett says it takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, maybe you'll act differently. Yeah, guys, if you are wildly attracted to your client, it's supposed to be 6 months. Just saying. But they cannot remain a client because there's way too many times that clients claim sexual misconduct. All right, this class. All right, let's go to it. Ready? Let's go. Standard number 2 of the NCBTMB Standards of Practice talks about legal and ethical requirements. As an LMT, what licensing falls under your responsibility? A, business licensing. I may need a business license to do practice. This can be ignored. B, state licensing. Pass the state test or the MBLEx. County license. I'm responsible for knowing if my county requires a license. D, all of the above. What is, all right, so if you were thinking letter A, we're going to eliminate one wrong answer. Letter A isn't the best answer. Oh, we got some answers popping up in the chat. Yolanda, Muriel, yes. Bridge, yes. Angie, yes. Kijo, yes. Tiffany, Latrice, yep. Jessica, you got it. Oh, wait, Latrice. Jessica, what are you talking about? Yes, state licensing. Keep reading. Wait. Best answer? All of the above. Now, how does it work? So the best answer is all of the above because you do need a business license. You do need your state license. You do need your county license. Business licensing cannot be ignored. All right. Oop. Good. So need a business license, and you need to find out if you don't need a business license. If you're a mobile massage therapist, you probably don't need a business license. But if you're only working in one town, one area all the time, and you're advertising in that area, find out. Just go to town hall. Remember? Just take a little trip down to town hall. Next question. Scope of practice means A, the highest quality standard I can maintain while I practice massage therapy. There are 6 standards. B, practicing massage therapy and nothing else. C, being clear on what I can and cannot do legally based on what I'm licensed to do. D, stay focused on doing continuing education to improve the modalities I can offer my clients. Scope of practice. I'm giving you a minute. Read them through. This is what happens on the MBLEx. Little short question, big long answers. Big long question, short answers. All right, let's get rid of one wrong answer. I'm going to take a peek. Oh, okay, before I take a peek. So the right answer is an A. Yeah, in class today, we talked a lot about the standards of practice. It is 100% different than the scope of practice. I need you to see the difference. So there are 6 standards. Highest quality standard, this is scope. Feel free to answer again if you picked A. I'm going to look in the chat box now for your best answer. Ooh! Yolanda, Jessica, good. Keisha, great. Tiffany, yeah. Latrice, Muriel, Angie, ooh. Best answer. Bang, letter C. That's right. Being clear on what you can and cannot do legally based on what you're licensed to do. So if you are certified as a personal trainer, have at it. If you are certified as a nutritionist, go for it. But if you're not, watch yourself. Nice work. Bang! Woo-hoo! We are done. So happy Valentine's Day, a little late. Happy Fat Tuesday, happy Ash Wednesday, all of that. And I put a little visual in here for you, knowing that that's what you're going to see on your pass paper. You're going to see those letters, pass. Yeah. So I am going to wind down our class for today. Plan to stay on for about another 10 to 15 minutes with you students who are live here to answer any questions that you have about the Patreon program, any questions on the class. But for now, I'll sign off saying, my name is Jody Scholes. I am your instructor for the MBLEx review course. Thanks so much for being here, and hope to see you again real soon.